people in this country who work.
Top and I don't really think that makes me a bad person. Does that make me a bad person?
No, not at
all right then. We'll be right back.
Actually, I don't want to shine.
Right.
I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think. What do you think so far?
Depending on how much of a tip you give me.
Okay, that's good enough. Egg Rogal, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Thanks a lot. This is great. I'm excited about this. I was just home recently. I was back home. I was visiting my family. And I was going through a photo album that my mom had. I found a letter that I wrote to Santa Claus when I was a little kid that she saved all these years. So it's kind of cute. I brought it with me. I'll read it to you. Dear Santa, I'm not writing this letter to ask you for any toys. I know you won't give me any because I'm a Jew. Your apparent lack of compassion towards the Jewish community is only a reflection of a racist policy of non-recognition towards the state of Israel. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. I hope you get clipped by a DC-10. You fat freak. Thank you. So I'm from New York. I live in a little studio apartment in Manhattan. I live alone. I was thinking of getting a dog to keep me company, but I didn't think it'd be fair for the dog to be cooped up in a tiny apartment in the middle of a crowded city. It'd be kind of cruel, you know? Then I started thinking, what the hell am I doing here? I'm living in a place I won't let a dog live in. It's expensive to live in New York also. You know, I got to keep a minimum of $1,500 in my checking account in my bank, or I have to pay a penalty fee. What's that about? Greg, it says here you don't have any money. That's going to cost you. And how come they chain the pens down at the bank? Free the pen. There's $1 million in the vault. They chain down the pen. So I guess I should tell you a little more about myself. I'm a hypochondriac. Or at least that's what my gynecologist keeps telling me. I went jogging for the first time recently. And joggers tell you when you jog, you get a runner's high. I'm not sure what they mean by that. But if they mean puking all over myself and collapsing, I was wasted. You ever watch the New York City Marathon on TV? Pretty boring show. It's people jogging. That's the show right there. I think if they want to boost their ratings, they should liven it up a little bit. Make it more difficult. Turn it into a triathlon. And have it start in the South Bronx at around midnight. You have to run for your life to the Hudson River. Then swim across to Newark, steal a car. And then for the endurance part of the race, drive the car back to Manhattan and get it registered at the Department of Motor Vehicles. I do watch a lot of television. One of my favorite shows is L.A. Law. I think it's a good show. But I'd like to see a spin-off to the show, Brooklyn Law. Your Honor, I could prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that my client, Vito the Hook Lambino, is innocent on all charges of racketeering, extortion, and bribery. But before I present my argument, let me present you with a small donation on behalf of my client, who respects and admires your dedication in upholding those laws that protect all of us and our families. For instance, your family, who currently reside at 428 West 72nd Street. You ever say something?
So, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Paul Rives and myself, we want to thank you for coming. And tonight, we did it, Paul. We did it.
Yes, we did.
Brought out the young guys. Yeah.
Is this the final number?
This is their final number, and they're really cooking at it.
Yeah. I was told there was going to be a whole big production number with a lot of dancers and everything.
Well, this is
All right. Thank you. Great. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And thank you at home for letting us into your bedroom. Boy, what an exciting time we live in. We now have peace with the Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc, and the Middle East, and hopefully someday soon, Florida. Oh! Did you hear about this? Al Gore said this on Larry King the other night. The United States borrows $24 billion a day to finance itself. Who are we going to for that kind of money? And when we get there, doesn't the guy ask, hey, what do you do with the $24 billion I gave you yesterday? I read this in USA Today. The U.S. military plans to use... Thank you, Tommy. Okay, quiet down, please. A little while ago, we showed a tape that people seemed to respond to. Unfortunately, the first time we showed it, one of our viewers was in his kitchen making a tongue sandwich. So, out of fairness to him, here again is the story of my day job. You know, a lot of people think that just because I've been making movies for years and I have my own TV show that I'm rolling in money. It's just not true. I, like so many other folks today, have to work a second job to make ends meet. And that's why I'm here. Hi, Sayed. I'm Mohammed. Another day. And here are the members of MASH. Featuring that sexy, blue-eyed blonde, Father Mulcahy. Marilyn Monroe. Finally got rid of that infectious wind. Did you get a meat thermometer? What happened? Are you okay? My gosh, I've never seen anything like that. Are you going to be all right? Come over here. Come here. Come here. I'm not Chevy Chase. I'm just doing this for him as they get, you know, the wax done. Right, John? Here, shake my hand. Don't be afraid. You can touch it. It's real. Lunch? Bill, it's just about time for lunch. You want to get a bite?
Oh, great, Chevy. Well, let's go over to Denny's. I got
Oh, great. Good. And the other guys come back.
Yeah.
A funny piece. I want to tell you, those two girls at the end I scared the pants off them. And I really tried to make them feel better. And we were going to call them, in fact, tonight or last night or any night. But they're Orthodox Jews and they're celebrating the holiday, so we couldn't. But eventually we were going to. But they are real sports because I think there was a cardiac arrest there. Anyway, I want to thank all of you for being here. We got a great show tonight. 90210's Jenny Garth will be out in a minute. Later,
proof that the ship's hull was much more vulnerable than anyone knew. When it hit an iceberg in frigid water, the steel fractured like glass. Outcome-based education
United States. Valley City, Norm Potter, 62 and 45. Rita in Edinburgh had 61 and 38. Harold Holte and Baudette, you checked in with 61 and 42. In Crookston, 60 and 48 from Bill Keywell. And Joe Mosk in Pelican Rapids. Right now, the airport is 52.
It's time now for News Update with our anchor, Chevy Chase.
Power, wanted by the FBI for a 1970 Boston bank robbery, gave herself up yesterday after 23 years in hiding. At her arraignment, she stated, quote, "I won't rest easy until all of our boys are back from Vietnam." She also said she couldn't wait to buy the new Jimi Hendrix record and watch Laugh-In. A USA Today CNN Gallup poll has found that 41% of people asked oppose the North American Free Trade Agreement, while the other 59% call it muy bueno. Opponents have denounced the agreement as bad for the environment. In particular, they point out that at least 1 million trees will have to be sacrificed just to make pink slips for American workers when their jobs go to Mexico. On Capitol Hill yesterday, Representative Newt Gingrich spoke out about the lack of health care. He was quoted as saying, "Everyone needs health insurance, especially people who are always getting the crap beat out of them because their first name is Newt." Hello? Hello? Earlier this week, Kevorkian agreed to... Pepper spray may become legalized here in California as a defense against... Wilson addressed his counsel yesterday in Moscow. He told them he is happy because not only does he see growth in the Russian economy, but he also sees the presidential liquor card coming his way. Later, Yeltsin embarrassed everyone when he tried to introduce the president of Armenia to his invisible friend, Harvey. China is mounting an effort to host the Olympic Games in the year 2000. Chinese officials are also hoping to add such events to the Olympics as the tank chase, the Molotov throw, and the 10,000-meter run for your life. And finally, alleged Hollywood Los Angeles School for the Hearing Impaired, Garrett Morris. Our top story tonight.
Our top story tonight.
60s anti-war activist Catherine Power has given herself up after 23 years in hiding.
Has given herself
And that's the news. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
That's the news.
GNC's Pro Performance 1850 weight gainer. Scientifically designed with one...
And maybe you've also...
Thank you so...
I'm very excited because of my next guest. I haven't seen him in about, 20 minutes. He's a former member of the Not Ready for Primetime Players on Saturday Night Live, where baseball was very, very good to him. And currently, you can watch him every week on Martin. Please welcome Garrett Morris.
Let's give a hand for Mr. Tom Scott, fabulous saxophone player. Man, yeah. Man, do you realize you have Sergio and Tom on the same stage tonight? Do you realize that?
I realize. And Tom, was that the theme to Saturday Night Live you were trying to play?
That certainly was.
Because nobody knows that melody.
I don't know myself.
Jimmy, I think this thing back here is a little bland. Don't you think it's a little bland?
Well,
that aquarium? Yeah. So I brought you something to add a little color to your aquarium.
is that a double entendre? Oh,
A double entendre. This is a Moorish idol.
Let's put him in there.
He's just idling there.
Yeah.
His name is Moorish, and he's idling there.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Jim, you got a ladder? Is Jim around? Jim, I need you. So I just dropped the whole thing in?
You dropped the whole... No, man, open the bag, Chevy.
I can't get the bag open. It's one of those Ziplocs. Oh, baby. Okay, easy does it, boy. Easy, boy. Easy. He's in there. Oh, geez, I can't. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful present. That fish tank is going to, that fish tank's going to get better. It takes 6 weeks for the biology of it, the ecology of it to get ready.
Well, he's now what is commonly known as a token, let's just face it. So if he does have any problems, since I had some experience in that.
Yeah.
Just
with fish?
give him my number, and we'll talk it over.
Oh,
yeah. Stress,
because he's,
Yeah, I like your show, man. You know, I really do.
Thank you. Well, don't you miss Saturday night? I do.
Yeah,
On occasion?
some of it, yeah. I mean, I miss the creative thing that the search, it was like, you know, the gentleman every week, you know?
Yeah. The camaraderie, the creativity.
The creativity, yeah. Help me out there, yeah. Garrett,
you know, Garrett started as a writer on the show.
Yes, I did, yeah.
And became a... Tell how you...
I had a play called The Secret Place, which Lauren read.
Yeah.
And he took me on as a writer. He didn't know that I had done some movies, one of which was Cooley High. And when he brought me on the show, he had me bringing in a lot of black actors and actresses to audition for the show. And John, I think Gilda, Lorraine told him about the movie. They were showing the movie in the green room. I come to work. Lauren gets me in there. He sees it. He digs it and tells me to audition. And I was as nervous as I could be because I wasn't like you guys. You guys
No, you weren't
at that kind of stuff.
You weren't improvising.
Most of my improvisation was very militant. I was in Leroy Jones's workshop,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, but because of one factor, and that was Gilda, she was just so, I mean, she was just so relaxed. You know, I mean, she was a past master at that. And I just kept my eyes on her eyes throughout that whole, it was like an eternity, right? Because
The audition?
Yeah, the audition was really, it would have been really traumatic if it hadn't been for just...
Wait a minute, Garrett.
Are we still...
Have you died? What happened? Ah, here we are.
and really, if the only thing that saved me...
Anyway,
the only thing that saved me was Gilda, really.
Yeah.
She,
Well, I saved you, too, on a few sketches.
Well, you said
Once in a while.
sketches.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well,
You
now
know,
we're both at Fox. How does that feel?
Fox is great, man. I'm with the #1 show on Fox, really, Martin.
We have a clip of
We have a clip, right.
You want to set it up?
Yeah, I'll set it up. Okay, we got Martin Lawrence, Tashina Arnold, Tisha Campbell, Tommy Ford, Carl Payne, John McGrath, myself in this show. And in this particular episode, I'm trying to get Martin straight on his attitude towards women because it leaves a little bit to be desired, okay? So just check him out, and I'm trying to get him straight on his attitude towards women and what it really should be.
All right.
Whipped. Brother, you got the wrong man. I ain't whipped.
No, brother, I don't have the wrong man, and I'm going to prove it to you with the Stan Winters Are You Whipped test.
Whatever, Stan.
Question 1. Stan, Martin, I don't need to go no further. You are so whipped, I could spread you on my sandwich.
Before I say goodbye to you, I want the audience to know that you're 57 years old. You look
Yes, I am.
incredible.
Thank you very much.
Don't go. We'll be right back with Sergio Salvatore, so stay with us.
Thin, crisp, and irresistible. Doritos Tortilla Thins. Grab.
Murphy has to interview her ex-husband.
I met him 20 years ago. How long did it last?
McNeely, the host of the Outdoorsman Adventure Series. Do you yearn for high adventure in the great outdoors? Then join me this week for a very special episode.
Rock and roll star Ted Nugent joins me in South Dakota for some world-class pheasant shooting.
Sunday night at 10. Boring.
All right. All of you who love jazz will know one of my next guests, the great jazzman Chick Corea. He's here tonight to introduce us to a 12-year-old jazz prodigy named Sergio Salvatore. Please welcome both of them. Sergio?
Race through Continental. One airline can make a difference. One pass lets you earn free travel faster than any other airline. That's the difference on Continental.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, yeah. I hope my brother Ned Chase is watching and saw this kid Sergio because he's great. He's going to be in Carnegie Hall in November, and this is his first CD, and this is Chick Corea's 65th CD, Paint the World. And tomorrow we're going to have Corbin Burnson and Al Franken and singer Oleta Adams and an amazing lizard lover. And I'd like to thank very much Jenny Garth, Garrett Morris, Sergio Salvatore, Chick Corea, Tom Scott, and the Hollywood Express. Good night, everybody.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Bellage, West Hollywood's deluxe all-suite hotel, combining sophistication and contemporary elegance. Bellage, a refuge from everything ordinary.
KBRR Channel 10, Thief River Falls, Grand Forks, and KNRR Channel 12, Pembina, your Fox stations.
From New York, where a couple of bucks still buys you a cup of coffee, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Actress Bonnie Hunt, singer Patty Smile, and etiquette expert Letitia Baldridge. Plus Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, Broadway's Miss Saigon, David Letterman.
Very nice of you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. On my way out here tonight to start the big show, I heard some exciting news. Are you like me? Do you like airplanes? Do you like airplane stories? Do you like everything there is about aviation? I'm fascinated by flight. I'm an aviation buff. I'll just level with you right there. So there's a flight yesterday leaving from Brussels going to Los Angeles, like nonstop. They go the polar route, I think. I'm not that much of a buff. And on the flight, a woman passenger, pregnant obviously, gives birth. Now, they don't land the plane. They do the whole thing in flight. And it's just wonderful. And the mom and the baby and everybody is doing just fine. But the amazing thing about this whole procedure, during the entire birthing process, the woman's seat back and her tray table remained in their original upright and locked position. I was stunned. How? Oh, please. No, come on. More good news, ladies and gentlemen, today for Yasser Arafat. Today, he was named PLO Employee of the Month. Must be doing something right. And, of course, it's the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. Last night, terribly exciting here in New York City, down in Times Square. There must have been 50,000 people packed into Times Square to watch the dropping of the matzo ball. What? What? I think that man was there, as a matter of fact. Went down to Times Square to drop the watching of that guy. Or watch the dropping. I'm a little nervous. That's the first time in my entire life I've done a matzo ball joke. Thank you very much. Let's see, some baseball history was made last night in Chicago. Chicago Cubs, let's see, Sammy Sosa became one of only 13 players in baseball history to hit 30 home runs and steal 30 bases in a single season. That's amazing to me. And in a related baseball story, last night, New York Mets utility infielder Chico Walker really hit two very hard foul balls. So Big night for baseball. Heidi Fleiss, the Hollywood madam, is in the news. You know about Heidi Fleiss, don't you? Now, I don't understand how people's minds work, but this woman has got so much legal trouble now, but she has announced that she is going to start designing and selling a line of pajamas for women. He's a legend in pool playing, in professional billiards. Minnesota Fats, a guy like in his 90s. And he was hospitalized a couple of weeks ago. He was disoriented. And his family said they became worried about this guy because for the last couple of weeks he'd been referring to himself as Nebraska Fats. So they said, well, we've got to get him right in there and see what we can't do for him. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a championship program for you tonight. Bonnie Hunt, the lovely, the talented, the always funny, the young, the personable. Patty Smythe is here, and manners expert Letitia Baldridge. Now, Paul, when I introduce you, knock us out, drop us dead, something extra peppy. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to our friend, Mr. Paul Schaefer. He's right over there. And the CBS Orchestra, ladies and gentlemen. Yee-haw! I was hoping, of course, when I asked for something peppy, I was hoping for something either Hooray for Hollywood, my personal favorite.
Is it too late?
Peppy show business song. Well, no, wait a minute. Or the other one would have been Toast of the Town.
Not quite as peppy, but also a good one. Is it too late?
No, it's not too late. You pick one and knock us out with this. Drop it. Here we go. Look out. Get ready for real. Did I tell you about the crowd in Times Square last night to watch the dropping of the matzo ball? I couldn't be more proud. It's my, hey, you're not paying attention. It's my first matzo ball joke, and you're not paying attention.
It was mighty tasty, Dave.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple of seconds here, and I thought what we would do tonight is just spend a minute or two to see what's inside the old CBS mailbag. Paul, here we go. Very, very nice. You know, since we moved to CBS, we've got us some mail. And let's just check out the CBS letter bag, the old mail bag. Here we go. Dear Dave, the letter begins. All right. While flying recently, I looked out the window and saw this. Oh, there's a picture there with the letter. Oh, look at that. It's taken out of an airplane window, and that's a General Electric jet engine. You know, we used to work for General Electric. All right, the letter continues here. Should I have been worried? Worried? You should have been terrified! Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's Chief Executive Officer of General Electric, Jack Welch. Jack, nice to see you. How you doing? How are you?
That's it, Letterman. General Electric put up with your pathetic jokes while you were making us money. But now that you're gone, we don't have to take it anymore. This GE rocket launcher will wipe that gap-toothed grin off your face. So long, TV boy.
What? My God, what the hell is your book?
Damn, I'm going to fire somebody for this.
With this final General Electric joke, we hereby retire GE, our former employer, as a comedy target. We salute General Electric for its many fine products and wish it continued success. There will be no further GE jokes on The Late Show unless we get tired of thinking of new material. And believe me, it really is kind of hard. God bless America.
What are you doing?
Well, after after that, we were supposed to see the graphic.
I was going to say we're done with the CBS mailbag. Then you do it. Okay. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the time we have for tonight's CBS mailbag. Okay. I think it's going pretty well, don't you? We'll be right back here with Bonnie Hunt, folks. The CBS Orchestra. Well, I thought our opening skit went rather well, don't you?
Well, it's not good.
Puts me in the mind of my days in community theater.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm told there was some sort of faux pas, some kind of snafu as I was sitting here. Hal, was there a mistake in the production here?
What was that, Dave? Yeah, watch this.
Was there a mistake in the production, Hal?
Yes, there was.
All right, let's see that, may we?
Roll it.
All right, here I am. I think I'm talking to you, obviously, Paul. We're getting ready to...
Right.
Salman Rushdie, perhaps. Let's see. Let's do our top 10 list, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted everything to be perfect for my first matzo ball joke of my life.
I know. I'm sorry it couldn't
Did you personally enjoy the matzo ball joke?
I did. I thought it was very tasty.
And how about when the guy came out to shoot me with a GE rocket?
Well, that was the way it was supposed to be. That part was like it was in rehearsal.
There we are. The category from the home office in Sioux City, Iowa, ladies and gentlemen. The top 10 list for tonight, ways to make Yasser Arafat angry. A list now. Top 10 things you can do to make Yasser Arafat angry. The man's riding high now. He's on a roll. He's hot.
You wouldn't want to make him angry.
No, you don't want to make him angry.
No, but if you did, maybe you have a list of
top 10 things right here that would make Yasser Arafat angry. Here we go. Number 10. Load his burnous with bees. Oh, man. Boy, would that irritate the guy. Number 9. Borrow some of his books on making explosives. Don't return them. Number 8. Don't let him in the room until he says, "Open sesame." Number 7. If he's chasing you, paint a tunnel entrance onto a big rock, then hide and watch as he runs straight into it. We'll be doing Oklahoma next week.
I know, at the community theater version.
Yeah, and then I think around the holidays it'll be Carousel.
I get it.
So try and get those tickets and come by. It's all for charity, and the family enjoys them. It's our little theater productions. We do them from time to time.
Feels very good.
Did you get a chance to see us in Brigadoon? Oh, that was a production. Let's see, number 6. When you meet him, say, "Whoa, you ain't exactly Omar Sharif, are you?" We're keeping our fingers crossed on Porgy and Bess, too.
I think we can.
That'll be a hot ticket. Number 5, introduce him as chairman of the PTA. Ooh, they burning mad there. Number 4, show up at a party wearing the same tablecloth. Yep, that'll do it. Top 10 ways to make Yasser Arafat angry. Number 3, ask him why it's not the PLO Speedwagon anymore. Yeah. Whatever happened to them guys? Are they still around?
I don't think so.
Number 2, in the middle of the cab ride, tell him you changed your mind and you want him to take you to Brooklyn. And the number 1 way to make Yasser Arafat angry, short sheet his head. There, that'll do it. Wow, the audience applauding along involuntarily as though they're actually enjoying themselves.
Almost as
That's as close as we get to actual entertainment on the program. I wanted to do something from Ibsen, but no, they said carousel. So that's what it'll be. We'll do carousel, we'll do Oklahoma, then we'll do carousel. What a day this has been. What a rare mood, I mean. Why, it's almost like being in love. I have no more pride. I'll do any damn thing. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest has appeared in numerous motion pictures, including the blockbuster Beethoven, the Big Dog movie with Charles Grodin. Also, she was in a very funny movie of the summer, Dave. And you have to pay attention to these, Paul. Pay attention to the intro so you know who the guest is.
I know who the guest is.
All right, okay.
I know her residence.
And I'd like to start coming to rehearsal.
Okay, I was there. I was there today.
This woman is also the creator and star of the TV series The Building, which appears Friday nights right here on the CBS television network. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the always delightful, the always charming, the young, the personable, Bonnie Hunt. Sirree. Nice to see you. You look like $1,000,000.
Oh.
Someone from the family, I hope. How you doing? What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dave.
How are things in your life?
Great.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What have you been up to?
Nothing. No, I'm working on a movie. I'm in
that's
Pittsburgh.
Good. Yeah, tell us about the movie.
Sorry, honey. Sorry. Tell you about it. It's me and Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, she's
or
very
I should
good.
say it's Marissa Tomei and then me,
yeah.
because, you know. Robert Downey Jr.'s in it. It's about two girls that grow up in Pittsburgh, and they take off to Italy, and you okay?
I'm just fine, thank you.
And they, you know, hilarity ensues.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And Pittsburgh must be a fun place to do a movie, eh?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
It's great, yes. There's another film being shot there now called Roommates.
No, there isn't.
Huh? Dave, you checked it out?
2 films simultaneously being produced in Pittsburgh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
yeah,
unusual.
so a lot of the people from the movie are staying in the same hotel.
Yeah, that's great. That must then the fun begins.
That's right. I haven't decided who I'm having an affair with yet.
Hey, now, come on.
Oh,
don't
come
say
on.
things
Dave,
like
it's
because
a
people will take that
joke.
seriously.
I know they
and you'll
will,
be in a
but
lot
I
of
wouldn't worry
trouble
about
with
it.
your family and so forth.
But I met Peter Falk.
He's great.
Yeah.
You know, he was Columbo.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be smart to have this job. You got to do your research.
Sure, yeah.
So I met him through Fisher Stevens, who plays my husband in this movie. And Peter, and we got in the elevator, and he introduced me to Peter Falk. And I was very excited because it's Columbo, but I felt guilty right away. The minute he looked at me, I was like, oh, God, I didn't do anything, because he's got to figure out the big crime I'm involved with. Anyway, Peter, we started talking, and he said, I've written a Columbo, which is going to be on in October, and I just got the rough cut of, would you like to see it? So he said, sure, you know. And so I went up to his room to watch Columbo, with Columbo.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
How
like
great is that?
Parallel
I
universes
just kept
or
going,
something.
what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on? Yeah. And then I kept hitting the clicker at him, and he just sat there. And so we watched Columbo and everything, and then he said, well, I'd like to take you guys out to dinner. So we said, fine. So he says, I'll drive. I said, wow, you know, Columbo's going to take us to dinner. It's very exciting. So he goes, I'll go get the car. So he does. He goes to get the car, and we're waiting. It starts to pour rain.
Oh,
Just pouring. Yeah, it's really scary. So we pile in the car, and I'm in the front seat with Columbo. And he's driving, and it's just really pouring. And Peter is Columbo. I'm sorry. You know, he's driving the car. And somebody in the back seat starts telling a story. Well, you know, Peter has one eye. And he's turning around. And he's listening to the story, and I'm going, oh, God, Peter, please look forward. We're going to get killed. He's going, don't worry about it. You know, he's looking at the back. And he said, I said, Peter, please keep your eye on the road. And he said, no, wait a second. No, that's not a joke. It is. It's a bad bad one. So anyway, he said, so Peter's got a great sense of humor. And he says to me, my eye is out of whack, the glass eye. So he starts swerving into the other lanes, but I can't get it straight, I can't get it straight. And he's pretending to be pushing his eye back in place. It was very funny, very funny. And it was a terrible head-on collision, but we...
No. And how's your mom doing?
Oh, my God, she's
You
fine.
want to take a little sip there before we get to this? This is one classy broad, eh? Am I telling it? This is top-of-the-line stuff here. It just doesn't get any better than this. All right.
Remember, that's how we met the first time. I was in that pub, I spit my beer out, and you said, hey, baby. You're what I'm looking for.
That's right. We have to do a commercial. We'll get to your mom, though. Everything okay back in Chicago?
Yeah, everything's great.
All right, we'll chat about Mom in a second here. We have to pause for a commercial. We'll continue visiting with our old friend Bonnie. Yeah, yes, sir. Paul Schaefer and the boys. Fine young cannibals. Do I have that right? Wow, cool. Bonnie Hunt is here, ladies and gentlemen. Patty Smythe and Letitia Baldridge will be out later. Maybe you'd like to join our little theater group here.
Gee, I don't know if I'm good enough. I would love to try. It's so exciting to say you're such a big star. I can't believe I'm here.
We do some wonderful things. So we mentioned your mom. How is your mom? I met your mom this summer. Seemed like a very nice woman. Decent, honest, solid human being.
Yeah, she's a doll. She's a riot. She's very into the whole career thing.
She must be very excited and proud for you.
Yeah, she gets a kick out of it. I've done a lot of promotion for this show, The Building, and I was on the radios in Chicago on the different stations, and I was going to be on Q101, which is one of the stations there. And they said...
It's a radio station, right?
That's right, sir.
Yeah.
And they said, you're going to be on at 7 in the morning, which is their #1 drive time. And I said, okay, but I was in L.A., and they said, it's going to be 5 a.m. for you. And I said, fine. I said, just call me about 15 minutes ahead of time so I can wake up and what are you looking at?
No, I happened to be looking at you in the monitor.
Oh. It's like me with Columbo. So I'm sleeping, and at about 3 o'clock, I wake up, look at the clock. I said, oh, thank God, I got more time to sleep. So I fell back to sleep. And my mother is at home in Chicago listening to the radio station. The disc jockey says, we're going to, have Bonnie Hunt on the air, but it's so early in L.A., we decided to wait till a later hour to call her. We'll have her on at 8 or 9 o'clock hour.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Give you some extra time.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm snoring away. And my great black teddy that I wear every night with heels. And my mom calls me and says, honey, it's Mom on the machine. So I hear it, and I pick up the phone, I go, hello. She goes, well, I was listening to the radio. They're going to let you sleep. It's so true, Dave. I said, Mom, thanks. She goes, okay. I just want you to know, you just relax and don't worry about it. So I lay back down, and what does she do? She calls Q101. She calls the radio station. She calls information, gets the number, and says, it's Bonnie Hunt's mother. I just called her. She's wide awake.
Place to call right now if you want. Yeah.
So they did. They called me up and then said, your mom called.
How does Mom react when there's when there's a discussion of your work in the newspaper, if there's a review or...
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay. We were very lucky with our show. We got some great reviews, and there was one review in the Chicago one of the newspapers in Chicago that didn't like the show, and my mother was having she was so upset about it.
It hurt her.
Yeah, because
she was hurt and embarrassed on your behalf.
Right.
Yeah.
She feels like it's very upsetting for me, and I said, Mom, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. And so time goes by, and I was talking to my sister, and she said, Bonnie, Mom called the Chicago Sun-Times. I'm like, what? And she says, yeah. And I said, she didn't say she was my mother, did she? And she said, no. She says, but halfway through the conversation, I hear her say, I'm an avid TV watcher, and I watch all the shows, and I read your review, and I just want you to know that ever since Bonnie was a little girl, she has tried to do the best work she knows how. So I talked to my mother. I said, Mom, did you say anything that would make her think you were a relative of me? I said, it's so embarrassing. And she says, I didn't say a thing. She had no idea. She had no idea I was your mother. She says, I just told her that I had read all the reviews for this show. Now, she's in Chicago. How could she read all the reviews for this show?
As a clipping service, Mom does.
But I thought that was pretty sweet.
That is very nice. That's very sweet.
Well, I was going to have all the girls call. I have 4 sisters. I was going to have all the girls call with different voices. And we were all going to call her, so she got all these calls. It was that said we just thought it was terrible.
Maybe
it's maybe
Mom,
she was hanging out with Columbo.
Maybe she ought to think about doing some volunteer work. Just give her some activities. Just maybe a little project in her life. Maybe she has a little too much free time. Maybe not. Let's see. The program is on tomorrow night. The building. What time? 9 o'clock, 9:30?
Right.
9 o'clock?
Jim Belushi's on tomorrow night show.
Yeah, that'll be a nice one.
Yeah, it's a good show.
And you're going back to Pittsburgh to finish up the film and then over to Italy.
Going to Italy.
It'll be great fun for you.
Yeah.
You're the best, Bonnie. Nice to see you again. The lovely Bonnie Hart, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back here. To the show. Patty Smythe will be out a little bit later singing an old Janis Joplin song. Is that right, Paul? Gonna blow the roof off the dump? Huh?
An unplugged version of same.
Okay. And Letitia expert... I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. It's Letitia expert Etiquette Baldridge will be out. Letitia Baldridge will be out. And, you know, we live in a time when courtesy and manners often take a back seat. And she'll be out here to tell us why and how we can correct that. And I think it's valuable and important. Tomorrow on the program, Super Dave Osborne will be here, America's greatest living stunt superhero. Oh, shut up. There's nothing wrong with Tonight Show. Also, Stone Temple Pilots, great musical group. Yep. And Laura Dern will be here.
He's great.
Another great show. You betcha. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to meet a brand new late show running character. It's Ben, the guy who really loves milk. Ben, come on in here. Yes, sir. Hey, Ben, how are you?
Paul.
Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Dave.
Yeah.
Just finished a whole quart of milk.
Wow, a whole quart of milk. So you really do. He really does, Paul. He really loves milk. That's, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I love milk. I really love milk.
I know.
You don't have any milk, do you?
Do I have any milk? No, I don't think we, you know, I'll tell you the truth, Ben, I'm not that fond of milk. I like a little in cereal, but I usually don't drink a lot of milk, no.
What are you, insane?
No,
I love milk.
I know.
Uh-huh. I really love...
I know.
Okay.
Ben, is everything all right at home?
What's that?
What's what?
What's this?
Oh, geez, look, there, I didn't know. Yeah, it's milk. I had no idea.
Yeah, right, Dave.
I didn't know it was there.
Milk.
Wow, he's very happy.
The milk is expired. Don't let this milk go bad.
It's not me.
This is milk, Dave.
I understand what it is.
Milk!
Yeah, but we're...
Haven't you people heard of refrigeration?
Yeah, I know, but it's not exactly a dairy we're running here, you know. And now what are you going to do? Now, Ben, be careful. If it's... I don't know. I don't know. Ben, I'm not sure I'd drink that if I were you.
Screw you!
No. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ben, the guy who really loves milk. Thank you very much. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Here's our little community theater group is getting bigger. All right, Ben. Attaboy. Oh, man. We need to pause here for another commercial announcement. When we come back, Patty Smythe will join us. We'll see you in a minute. You all right, Ben? We have a guy on television who really loves milk. And that's it.
That's the premise?
So next week, maybe a guy who's like lactose intolerant will be out.
Hey.
But doesn't it seem like it takes less and less to get you on TV these days?
Suppose,
he really loves milk. We put him on the show.
That's all it takes.
That's why this is the greatest country in the world. He really loves that milk.
Loves it.
Our next guest can belt out a song better than anyone, and she's here to prove it to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're always very, very happy and pleased when she can drop by. Please welcome Patty Smythe. Patty! Worldwide Pants Building. Patty Smythe was great. I enjoyed that. And it reminded me, put me in the mind of my days with Janice at the Fillmore.
You were with her?
That's right. I was out there. I was with the Janice and the Ace Trucking Company.
You were there with the Ace Trucking. That was the comedy group.
I'm sorry, the Big Brother and the Holding Company. Yeah. I knew it was a small business of some kind. I just got them confused. Our next guest is an international authority on etiquette and manners. Look at the size of this new book. We got a lot to learn about being polite in this society. It's called The New Complete Guide to Executive Manners. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the always lovely, and just watch how polite this woman is, and try to apply some of this to your own life. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Letitia Baldridge. Letitia. Thank you very much for joining us here at the new broadcast.
Hey, it's great to be here.
People
and
been
with
treating
a
you well?
polite audience.
Yeah, everybody's very polite tonight. Did you get a chance to meet Ben, the guy who really loves milk?
Yes. I'm dying to have him as a guest.
Have you ever had anything like that happen at a party where a guy goes nuts and won't stop eating cake or something?
I have seen a lot worse than that.
Really?
Absolutely.
Take a guy out to the yard and hose him off? Anything ever happen like that at a party of yours?
Listen, one night the dessert was served. I was the guest of honor. I slashed into the top of this great, huge white dessert, and the entire thing went on the floor because I slashed into styrofoam.
Oh, so it wasn't a cake at all?
No, well, the top part was all decoration and styrofoam. So, I've done worse.
You actually, because it was a faux pas, yes, but it had a happy ending because it kept people from ingesting that deadly poisonous styrofoam.
It did, but they had to eat the white cake and the white goo that was all over the dining room floor.
Yeah.
We scooped it up, and then I said to the head waiter, please, everyone's got to eat it. You got to help me out.
Yeah.
So the guests all ate it anyway. That's more embarrassing than having that man.
I don't know how you can live like that, Letitia.
It's a really grubby life.
Hey, what's new? What do you want to talk about? Anything on your mind?
Well, now that you're here in this beautiful place, and I hope that you're also going to let your guests talk about what they want to talk about. The last time I was here, we were going to talk...
Well, that's very impolite, ladies and gentlemen. When we scrape the cake off the floor, you may not get some.
No, I think the audience will agree with me. The last time we were going to talk about electronic intrusions in the workplace. People being really ill-mannered with their faxes and beepers and cellular telephones. And you took the conversation away from me, and you spent the whole 5 minutes, we only had 5 minutes, going into a woman in the supermarket who was opening all the sheaves of corn to see what was... And you said that was just terrible. She shouldn't have kept the corn there from you. She was opening every single corn. Now, I think that...
So what are you saying? I'm like a misfit? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you don't shop for groceries very much. That's what
I'm telling you, I think people have a lot to learn. I think we've slipped in this country. Just simple communication, simple personal courtesy. That's all we're asking for.
We have, and we've slipped terribly. We don't say thank you anymore. We don't write letters anymore, but you wrote me a very nice thank you note.
You gave me a lovely gift.
I sent you a 10th anniversary present over a year ago.
It was very nice of you.
A little silver baseball mitt,
very nice.
key ring, and you wrote me a thank you note after 3 months.
I send out the thank you letters corresponding to the value of the gift, so you were a little...
Listen, it was you want an 18-karat gold mitt, you're going to have to be a lot nicer.
But was that... Well, was that too late to send it out 3 months later? I mean, you know, it might have been lost in the mail. It's not all my doing.
First of all, you were terrific to have sent me a thank you note at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, frankly.
And Letitia, are you expecting to come back? Let's see how that goes. Put the clock on that.
I'll write another book quickly.
Hey, let me ask you about the, you live in Washington, I think.
Yeah.
What about the big peace signing thing on Monday?
What
did you think of that?
Such a high in
Yeah, it was
Washington
exciting, wasn't it?
on Monday to see all those presidents there and to see the leaders of Israel and I must say, Arafat, when he crossed the back of the platform and extended his hand to the Israeli leaders, it was a moment of greatness because the Arabs kiss their brothers on both cheeks.
So he was breaking cultural tradition, wasn't he?
He crossed the cultural traditions to please them and put out his hand. By the way, how's your hand?
Fine.
You have a good handshake.
Well,
thank
you.
Handshake. Do you
What do you have in mind?
No, I'm just saying that this is one of the things we don't do very well anymore. We don't shake hands very well anymore.
But what did you think of that moment? Did you see the videotape replay of the handshake?
Oh, it was terrific. And I think more people are going to shake hands.
Well, we have that on tape, and I looked at it at home. It was very curious to me. Roll it, Hal, and see if you can't pick up something here that maybe you missed the first time. All right, there they are. On the, is that the East Lawn?
South Lawn.
South Lawn there. They're shaking hands. Everything seems to be going. Very vigorous handshake. And then, what is this, Letitia? What does that tell us? Taking this peace thing a little too far, maybe. I
have a whole section on handshakes in the book, but I honestly did not go into the thumbsy-wumsy part, no.
Thumbsy-wumsy?
No, but it was a moment of glory. It was an up thing for the country. Yeah. We all felt good.
Yeah, no, I think, and everybody is carried us through the week. Everybody is, and whether it applies to you directly or not, it leaves you with a good, positive feeling, I think.
It will apply to everyone directly down the line. Yeah. We have to think about the future.
Give us an example now of how things should be better, like in the workplace. This is Executive Manners. People, executives, big corporations buy the book because they want things to be on the up and up at work, in the office. They want people to be treated well.